Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VII. Last time, we got Cloud back, and we got Tifa back. Both are good things. Now, Cloud realizes that, even while he was gone, we didn't stop. We're still out to save the world, and we were after huge materia. So, because Cloud needs to get filled in, well, kind of filled in, I guess. Probably got filled in off-screen. But yeah. There is a reactor at Jinan, but it's underwater, which is why we've never seen it before. The only one left, huh? Well, technically, the other one was from Nibelheim, and they already procured that one off-screen prior to us even hearing about it. Yeah, we could go to Jinan, but that's not really a good idea right now. Reason why it's not a good idea is because that would advance with the plot. And why would I want to advance the plot? Well, there's no real reason to right now, other than, of course, doing the plot. I'd rather do side quests, because side quests are a lot more fun. Well, some of them are. Shut up, Barrett. We're not going to Jinan, shut up. Ah, look at that. Who has what materia? Well, I remember who has what materia. Now, I don't think I've actually given materia to Cloud right now. Well, I usually remember who has what materia, but I was messing around on one of my previous save states, so I don't really know who has materia on this file. I don't think Cloud does, and I don't think Tifa does. It's probably still on Barrett, Vincent, and Sid, so I'm going to have to muck around with those, set everything up with my new party, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and unfortunately I'm a little far away, but now that we have Cloud back in the party, I noticed that I forgot to buy the crystal sword for him last time. So, let's return to Mediel. Oh, okay. Well, now that we're back here, we can actually still buy some stuff, even though all the shops are destroyed. And if I could talk to this guy, that'd be very beneficial. This guy sells items. And he has almost nothing left, which is kind of bad. Yeah. Try the other store. Well, there aren't any other stores because they've all been destroyed. Oh, here's the materia shop that has nothing. Huh. Okay. What about, are you a shop too? No. Is there a shop here? I believe this is another shop. Okay. What do you have? You still have the same things. At least I think they're the same things. Either way, I don't want them. But yeah, like I was saying before, if you talk to the crazy chocobo lady there, then... Come on, get through here. Then all you need to do is head up here. And you get a change in music. You talk to her. 50% off? No. She has everything that was here before. Meanwhile, the other stores are all out of everything. She still has it. So we can buy a crystal sword, and I think I've bought pretty much everything else I want. We have at least one of everything except for that. I need one more for Kate Sith. I'll never use him again. No worries. Yeah, but she's got all the other stuff too, and if you talk to the nurse over here... Aw, would you look at that? Free rest point. Gotta love it. Anyway, with that out of the way, we can finally continue on and do some side quests. And you can just... Oh, I thought you could head out here. Fine, I'll walk out. Unfortunately, they don't let you run out through that area. I think at one point... Maybe I'm thinking of a different game where they had a situation like that, where you could just kind of run out the back of the town and get to the world map. Anyway, let's throw on that crystal sword. And my first stop is the Bone Village. I'll just go through my materia real quick so you can take a look. It's pretty much the same as it always is. Contains on Cloud. And he's got the magic plus because he's got the highest magic stat base. And some more stuff here. I want to work on the enemy or the elemental materials just because I want to get them out of the way. Still have all the same stuff as before, Quadramagic and Comet, though I'll probably end up changing that with Ultima. Once I learn level 1, Ultima is very similar to the full cure magic, where you don't actually have access to the spell right off the bat, though it does minus your HP by 10%, which is kind of why I wanted the HP plus materia throughout the game, is just to offset the amount of materia I was going to have. So I got 10 from that, 2 from that, and another 5 from that. I'm getting more HP in the long run, but it's not, you know, like a 40% increase like it says it is. It's offsetting all of the other materia that I have on. So anyway, that's my materia, and I'll just meet you over at the Bone Village. And here we are, we're back. And here we can still dig, even though we've dug up the Lunar Harp. This time you do not want to go after Lunar Harp, since we already got one, and we want to go after normal treasure. If you do this, you'll have access to gain an interesting key item that'll give us access to an area we haven't been in a while. So let's just go up here, throw staff member right here, that one, fast forward, one right here, and one right there, wrong button, there we go, and it should be right around here that I'm looking for. So I'll just kind of watch these guys. Oh, that was nowhere near where I was expecting it to be. Huh. They're all looking down there. I know that one of the items is around here. So I'm going to dig here and hope that I get it. If not, then I'll have to off-screen until I actually do get it. Sigh. Ah, I got it right away. Perfect. The key to Sector 5. What does that do? Something pretty obvious. It allows us to get back into Midgar, which I'm going to do now. Good thing Midgar's, you know, close by. I don't have to bother to off-screen this. So if I went the right way, that would probably help. Drunk Pilot doesn't know what continent he's going to. Where do you get off? I'm trying to remember where you come out of Midgar at, because it's such a wide area. I don't want to have to walk such a long way to get back to my airship there. The way you're supposed to realize that you can dig that up is by talking to this guy. An excavation tour. Yeah, he dropped his key. And, of course, now we have access to the key. So we can go back into Midgar. And there are a couple reasons to do this. Oh, the church. Wonder what's in here. What? Hey! What? Is my game glitched? Oh, she's supposed to be dead. Huh. Yeah, they throw kind of an after image of Eris in here for some reason or another. I guess to kind of show the memory of the characters as they re-enter an area that was so important to Eris before. But anyway, I'll meet you in Wall Market since these battles are annoying. Okay, there we go. If you've forgotten how to get to Wall Market, watch earlier videos. Here, we get the Premium Heart. Huh, this was always broken before. Let's see. Oh, no, it's broken again. So yeah, you can pick up that here, which is actually Tifa's ultimate weapon, and I'll get into ultimate weapons later on. I think that this is the first one we've gotten now, so I won't be using it in the near future anyway. The other thing we can do well here is you can head back into the weapon shop over here. Remember this guy? He gave us the batteries before? Huh. And he's actually right. This is a unique item. There is no other one in the game, and I don't think you can steal or morph it from anybody either. But yeah, for this price, it's probably not worth it because I'm not going to use it. But it's a sneak club. It increases your steal rate. Anyway, that's pretty much all we can do in Midgar at this point, so I'll just meet you outside. Okay, there we go. Back to the airship. Now, the next place we can go to a couple of places now. I'm going to start the big side quest now because I think it's probably about time we do that. It's going to take a while. And in order to do that, we come here. And do note that over here is another chocobo lure materia if you've decided to sell yours, and that will be important to the obvious side quest that you'll be doing here. It involves catching chocobos. And this side quest becomes available once you get Cloud back. And yeah, actually while Cloud was injured or unconscious in the deal there, the gold saucer actually closed. I didn't really mention it because it's not really important, and during almost any playthrough I do, I never bother to even check that place out, but it is closed, so you can't actually go there. But now that Cloud's, alright again and back in the party, it is open again, which is great. And for, while doing that, we can also, raise our own chocobos here, as this guy is, blabbering about here. And so, if you notice outside there in the pen, all the other chocobos are gone. So we can take care of 6 chocobos here for 10,000 gil a chocobo. Wow, that's a lot of money. Take care of my chocobos. You'll need a stable. You can rent up to 6 stables. And 4 in the fenced area outside. Okay. So they cost 10,000 gil. I'm just going to rent the other ones because you have to do it individually, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. All done. And I believe that's all the ones I can do now. Yeah, only room for 6. And if you read what I kind of skimmed over there, he said to talk to his grandson in the barn here. Let's talk to the grandson here. Welcome. Anyway, you can get some information. More than anything, I came here to pick up some greens. And the Gasol greens never seem to work. They work well enough at the start of the game, and they probably work well enough now, but I have more money now, so I'm going to get... Oops, no, not that many. About 10 should be good, and I'll have 5 of those as backups, and I'm going to go catch me some chocobos. But before that, I need to get some other greens. And greens are interesting when it comes to chocobos because you have both greens and nuts, and they serve different purposes. Greens are basically the food for chocobos in this game. So what they do is, if you remember at the Gold Saucer, we could watch and bet on the racing chocobos. In order to advance our own chocobos, we also need to race them. And to race them, effectively anyway, we need to get them better stats. And different greens increase different stats by different amounts. And it's not always, but definitely partly based on the amount of money you spend on them. The most expensive ones we can buy here are only 1,500 gil. These are not particularly useful. The nuts, on the other hand, are for breeding chocobos. So, in order to do that, you need a certain nut to breed 2 chocobos together, and you have a chance at getting a non-normal chocobo. If you remember Final Fantasy IX, we have different colored chocobos with different features. Very similar in this game, although in this game you don't dig up treasures in order to upgrade your chocobo. In this one, you breed 2 chocobos together, and you might get a different colored chocobo. And it requires a certain nut and a certain level of skill in terms of racing. That's how your chocobos gain strength in order to reproduce properly. So the ones here aren't particularly good. So what are we going to do about getting some better greens? Well, there's actually an area that we haven't been to yet, a house that we haven't had access to until we got the airship here. Now I could have done this when I was up here earlier, but I just figured I want to stick with one quest at a time, for now anyway. Eventually I'll start mixing it up because the chocobo side quest lasts a long time. But if we head up here to the east or the west or wherever this is of Bone Village, there is a single house here. Now there's a couple of interesting points about this. One is he has a different colored chocobo here that has the 4th enemy skill, which is utterly pointless considering you can only have 3 characters in at once. However, if you are a perfectionist and you want 100% completion, you should not have beaten Godo, the boss from the Gauntlet at the pagoda there, because he can use Trine, and at this point in the game, once you get this materia, he is the only enemy left who can use Trine. and a perfect file requires you to get every enemy skill for every enemy skill materia and all max of all these items, blah blah blah. Anyway, basically, if you want a perfect game, you have to do that. I'm not even going to acknowledge the 4th enemy skill materia because it's really pointless. This guy is weird. Very weird. Can't remember. Who are you, anyway? Me? What's wrong? Yes. This guy has been stuck in isolation so long that he can't remember his own name. Oh, look at that. He remembered one thing. He is the Chocobo Sage. Yet nobody would forget that. You would want to, but you wouldn't be able to. Anyway, if you ask about his Chocobo here, that one is... I can't quite remember. If you go out and battle around and, do a few battles, come back and talk to him, a few more battles, talk to him, you'll eventually figure out how to get the ultimate Chocobo in this game. I already know that because, 1, I've done it, half a dozen times before, and 2, because I have a guide to refresh my memory if I need to. So I'm not going to bother. But what he does have is 2 more useless nuts that we don't need, and the 2 best greens in the game. Well, specifically, the best green in the game, the Silkus greens. And we're going to want a lot of these. However, because I blew all that money on the Sneak Ring and on Chocobo Stables, I'm out of money. Whatever am I going to do? Well, I haven't really addressed this in a while, but all those all materials that I've been mastering, there's a reason why I keep mastering more of them, and that's because they sell for a lot of money. I think I mentioned this earlier how it works, but if you look up the top left there, price through AP. The amount of AP you have if it's not mastered determines how much it sells for. However, if it is mastered, then it will sell for a mastered price. Most materia doesn't cost all that much even when you master it. There are a few that are quite good, and the most effective one for gaining money is the all materia because it costs the total amount of AP you need to master an all materia, I believe, is 35,000. In order to do that, throughout the game, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. So I can have as much money as I need at this point by simply selling one of these because they sell for 1.4 million. And it takes longer to, say, master a fire materia than it does to master an all materia, and it sells for significantly less. So I'm just going to sell a couple of those, and I'll have more than enough money to cover the rest of the game. Some of these other things sell for certain amounts, like Chocobo Lure sells for nothing, which is one reason why you should never sell it. And, the summon materials aren't really worth selling because, again, worth nothing. Never sell enemy skill materials, and, anything unique like added cut. But anyway, so yeah, I have plenty of money now, so let's buy the greens that we need, the Silkus greens, and they cost 5 grand each, so that's basically $500,000 to get all that we need. And we're going to need these when we start catching Chocobos, but I'm going to do that off screen between this episode and the next because it just takes so long, and then I will show you screenshots, I think, of, as long as I can make it work for me, I'll show you screenshots of the certain battle formations that you need to run into in order for this to work. Because the Chocobos we catch from different areas have different breeding classes. And those breeding classes are dependent on the battle formation, the enemies that are involved, when you catch them. So what I'm going to do, and this is why I mastered the Chocobo Lure materia earlier on in the game, where'd it go, is now, as it levels up, it increases your chances of running into a Chocobo when you're on the Chocobo tracks. So I'm going to find all the Chocobos that I'm going to need, and then I'm going to, what should I do? I don't know. I'll figure it out next time. Anyway, I will make sure to show you exactly where you need to go to get all these Chocobos, and make sure it's really simple if you're trying to follow along. Anyway, that's all for this episode, and I will see you guys next time.